Before you can figure out where you going, you gotta look back at where you've been. There's things that happen that seem like they didn't mean nothing at the time. But then you realize they mean everything.
What's up, ugly ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your ugly ass friends. On today's video, we will be covering another Power Universe video, and this is the Power Reloaded. And this one right here is Tariq's ending. And what I mean by Tariq's ending, first I will shout out to my boy Support Gaming 2026. This is a video theory that was given to me by him. I know I've been supposed to do it for quite a while now, but here you go. I told you I was gonna work on it, and this is it. So pretty much in this video, people, with us knowing how the story started with the original Power, with Ghost, basically we're seeing the start of his legitimate side of trying to become a nightclub owner and leave the streets behind him. And pretty much throughout it we see him struggle to try to leave that life, and ultimately bit the bullet for it. So, you know how Power loves parallels. Pretty much a lot of the scenes that we see in later shows, these spin-offs and stuff like that, were pretty much very similar to things that has already happened in the past, in the original Power. So, from what we already have seen, I can't see them too much changing, what they're gonna do as far as Tariq's ending, but of course it's not gonna be exactly the same. So I will be covering what that ending will lie for your boy Tariq St. Patrick. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Now, we start things off with, of course, the originator, the Ghost Man himself. And this is, of course, when it comes from episode 1 of the original Power, when the first night of the night opening of his nightclub, Chew, and he was looking back at the building, having a moment with his father saying to him, "You see that, Pop? I did it." Right? He had finally got the nightclub just like his father and was on the right track to become a legit businessman. But, of course, shortly after, maybe, a night after that, possibly 2, not exactly sure how long ago it was after that moment, but of course, he ended up rekindling with the love of his life, Angela Valdez. And of course, although he didn't see it that way, this would be the beginning of the end of Ghost Empire, as it will slowly begin to crumble, because he basically chose the love of his life, and he thought he could have it all. He thought he could have the love of his life and his kids, but he didn't see the, how that would affect them ultimately, and ultimately potentially have cost him his life. But of course, another thing that I believe, I always said this myself, that if Tasha, right at that moment, when she seen Ghost somewhat flirting with her and talking with her, she should have just intervened right there and just walked up to Angela and let her know where she stands. Like, "Hi, I am Tasha St. Patrick. flash that big ass ring that was on her finger, and be like, I am his wife. Ghost would have been stuck in his tracks. He wouldn't have been able to do anything. And Angela would be like, oh, you're married? And boom, there, Angela probably would have kept her distance from him. And she probably would have got in a little bit deeper with Greg. I mean, perhaps the ending could have still ended up being the same, but I think it would have changed stuff a lot. And possibly, Ghost and Angela never would have gotten that far. But anyways, we know how the story ended. It ended with, of course, your boy Tariq St. Patrick being angry that Ghost left, them for the love of his life, Angela, and that cost him his life. Or so they telling us, because I believe he's still alive. Anyways, next, let's go ahead and, get over to the next generation, which is, of course, Tariq St. Patrick. Now, at the end of Book 2, Ghost, of course, we seen him get this call. Of course, they didn't let us know who was talking. We didn't get a voice. We just seen the dialogue that Tariq was giving. But many of us believe that this was none other than Tommy Egan, my bad. And I believe shortly after he will make an appearance in force, help Tommy conquer whatever the situation is going on there. And I believe eventually, because we already seen him start the empire with the Ghost in the Machine. So this is the start of Tariq's empire. Now he's tried to, cut his family off so that way he won't ever get focused. And I believe he got this from where he won't ever lose focus, sorry. And I believe he got this from Tommy when Tommy was telling him, you can't live both worlds. You're either a gangster or a civilian. The moment you get distracted, you're dead. Remember, he told him that. So I believe that's the reason why he ultimately made that decision. However, I believe that's the reason why they told us in episode 5 of the last season. They gave us this, although it was a hallucination because of him being high on drugs, I believe it was foreshadowing the future of what will happen eventually anyway. Now, some may believe that Tariq and Diana may never hook up. And who knows, maybe it won't be Diana. But in this scenario, it will be. I think it's possible with them both being in the game. Because, it's crazy. It's very ironic how Diana didn't want to be in the game at first. Because she wanted more for the son. And she didn't want to put them in danger. Right? And then Tariq wanted to. But I believe the future will eventually will have a reversal. I believe Ghost and Tasha's story probably was very similar. Probably in the beginning when Ghost was in the game, Tasha was very worried because she was like, this is dangerous. But after she seen how good Ghost was at it, and how he was always able to protect her and provide, she fell in love with that lifestyle and never wanted things to change. I believe the same thing will happen here with Diana. But of course, eventually Ghost wanted to get out. And I think eventually Tariq also will probably decide that, dang, I see what my dad's been trying to protect me from. I get what he meant. This is not the life I think I want to live. Let me try to find a way to better myself and protect my family. I do think eventually he will get to those points as well. But when he does get to that point, right? Him and Diana will have kids. Even though I showed the image, right before, sorry, but Diana and Tariq will have children. Perhaps a son like we see here. And they're going to be living a nice life, but Tariq is going to always feel like that something or or someone in his life is missing, right? And of course, I believe, of course, they never really truly said this, but if you just pay attention to Tariq's moves and how he was towards these things, Lauren was the true love of Tariq's life. That, I believe, she was the one that he's gonna feel like the one that got away. Very similar to Ghost with, you know what I'm saying, with Angela. Like, I feel like he's gonna love Diana, and he's gonna be like, you know, almost like settled, but you know, at the same, like, he does love her, but at the same time, his heart was with Lauren. But of course, Lauren left because of those circumstances that we saw at the end of season 3. But just like Angela, I think she's gonna go on, get her a degree in whatever it is. I don't know if she's gonna be working in law enforcement. They probably would change up the story, not make her be working in law enforcement, but maybe something similar to it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe she'll be, let me see, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I at the moment, I can't really think of it. But anyway, she's probably gonna be something in that field, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not a federal prosecutor, but perhaps a judge or a lawyer or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, Tariq's gonna open up a club of his own, and in walks Lauren. And them two sees each other for the first time in, let's just say, hey, 16 years, just like Ghost and Angela. They have a dialogue, and of course, Diana is in the building, just like Tasha was in episode 1 of the original Power. Tariq, very thrilled and pleasant to see Lauren. He immediately, you know, smiles, hugs her. They share some moments. They talk, ask each other how they've been, and it was like love at first sight all over again. And then something hits Tariq. He remembers that Diana is in the building. He's like, oh shit, I just thought about it. Diana is in the building. And as good as this feel, you know what I'm saying, that beat is crazy. So the difference is between Tasha and Diana is Diana's a cold-blooded killer. And she ain't gonna play, and she's gonna remember Lauren. So she's gonna have even more incentive to want to take her out. So I think Tariq is gonna be like, you know what, as much good as this feel, it is not worth it. So ultimately, and also remembering that flashback scene that he had while he was high as hell, that his son came and shot him, and remembering that, damn, this is the exact same thing probably that happened with my father, and I'm getting ready to make the exact same mistake. So after, you know, having the talk with her, he ultimately tells her, you know, I've been good, I've been living a good life, I'm even married now. So unlike Ghost, he's going to go ahead and tell Lauren the truth, that he is married, and that he married Diana, and he calls her over like, baby, hey, I would just remember Lauren, we just bumped into each other. And then Diana's like, oh yeah, I remember her. And then they share a few moments, they say hi, and Lauren just walks away. And then, right after that, you remember, Tariq doesn't want to be like his father. Like, throughout the whole series of Power Book 2 Ghost, he was trying to not be like his father. So, in that moment, he was able to conquer something that his father wasn't able to do, and keep his nuts in his pants and ignored his feelings for the betterment of his family. And he was like, you know what? He goes to Ghost's grave and say, you know what, Father? I did it. I was able to get the club, and I was able to resist the love of my life for the better of my family. And that was something that you never could do. And then we get the closing credits hit the screen as the end of the Power series comes to an end. And there you have it, my good and glad friends. So, y'all definitely gotta let me know what y'all think about this particular ending for the Power series. At least for Tariq. Who knows? They might decide to do even more spin-offs or whatever after him. But at least for Tariq's thing, he gets to live happily ever after. Now I know DeMarcus wouldn't like to hear this. I already know you wouldn't want to hear this, because of course you're not a fan of Tariq. But hey, for my other boys like Takari and then the other people that rock with Tariq, he gets a happy ending. He makes the right move, and him and Diana rise into the sunset. What do y'all think about that? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. But you know, like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, a comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, of course, make sure you share it with your ugly ass friends. But until the next video, I'm out.